Hey everybody, welcome back to Selina's Corner. Today I'm going to do the sheet pan Thanksgiving dinner for two. It's actually a recipe that comes from food.com, and it's called Thanksgiving on 2 sheet pans. I'm all about making like one-pot dinners, the less dishes that we have to do at the end of the day when you have a big family like I did. I had 3 children that I was raising, and we would come in late at night from soccer practice, basketball, baseball, and we needed something that was quick and easy. So I thought, I wonder if we could do Thanksgiving dinner, one pan or one pot. So I got to looking, and I found this recipe on the Food Network. So I'll share a link to that on the bottom of the video as well. So because I'm only making half of this recipe, it'll have the full recipe on it, but I'm going to half everything. I've already gotten everything together that we need, and I wanted to show you a couple things. So one of the things we need, we're in the middle of this pandemic, right? So we're not using a lot of the stuff up like we normally would. So I don't eat a lot of eggs. I use them mostly for baking or in things that I cook. So I need to check to make sure that my eggs are still good before I use them in a recipe. So if it floats, throw it out. If it sinks to the bottom and it lays on its side, it's good. But if it sinks to the bottom and it stays on end, we need to use it soon. Okay? So I'll put it in there. Okay? And it's kind of on its side, kind of standing on the top. So I need to use it soon. So I know that it's good to use in our recipe today. Okay? I'm going to set that right there. Pour this water out, because I just want to do that demo. So the chicken broth that I'm using today, I'm not going to use all of this, and it'll probably be a while before I use chicken broth again. When it starts getting cold, I'll use it for minestrone soup that I make. So what I'll do is I'll freeze it into ice cubes, and then I'll use it as I need it. Remember, 2 tablespoons. An ice cube tray compartment, standard ice cube tray compartment, is 1 ounce, which is 2 tablespoons. So just keep that in mind. So I'm just going to set that there for now. I will zest the rest of this orange, because I only needed like a little tiny bit of it. So I'll zest the rest of the orange, then I'll eat the orange. But what I'll do is I'll put it in the freezer. I have some lemon here, because I mean, you just never know when you need it. You just can't get to the store. And I mean, you only use a little bit at a time, so why throw the whole thing away? I just zest it up and put it in the freezer. So that's what I'll do with the rest of the orange. I make a lot of stuff, like say if I find something on sale, produce is sky high right now. So I bought a bunch of celery, and then I dehydrated it, because I use a lot of this, because I make chicken and tuna salad to take for my lunch. And so I dehydrated it, and then I'll put that in my salads or use it for whatever I did. I rehydrated it today for the recipe I'm doing today. And I do the same thing for onions. I had a bunch of onions, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have all these onions, and I'm not going to be able to use them up before they go bad. So that's what I did. I grew this thyme that we're using in the recipe today. It also calls for sage. I got some leaves off of my sage plant, but I don't really like sage that much, so I'm just using a little tiny bit of that today. So I'm just going to set these over here off to the side. And I also wanted to show you that I said that I'll like make several meals throughout for the week. So I'll just I bought these from eBay, and they can go in the freezer, they can go in the microwave, whatever, straight in the refrigerator. So I use these, and they're great. They didn't cost that much at all. And there's 3 compartments in it. And this will be great with this, because I can put my Brussels sprouts here, I can put my cranberry sauce here, and I can put my stuffing or my dressing, whichever you want to say, and my turkey here. So the turkey breast came with a gravy pack. Okay? So I'm not going to let that go to waste. I'm actually going to heat that up and I'll use it for my meals. So I'm going to put this back in the refrigerator so they get that. Right there, so I'm going to Alright, so I used liquid smoke overnight, and I smoked my turkey breast. So I have it sitting like this to drain off that liquid, so I don't have the liquid migrate into my other food. So here, it's only been out for a few minutes, I promise. Okay. And then we're going to use the sheet pan. I have 2 of these. So for the last time, we did the 2 turkey breasts and a large serving of dressing over here, and then on the other one, we had the sweet potatoes and the Brussels sprouts on the other side, and then we put the cranberry sauce in the middle. Well, today I'm going to do it on one pot. So first thing we got to do, we got to put the oven racks. When you do the full recipe, you put it in the top third and the lower third, and then your trays go on certain racks. So what I'm going to, since I'm only doing a half a recipe this time, I put my rack in the center of the oven, and then I preheated it to 375. So let me set this to the side. Sharp knife falling off the counter. That's all we need. So I'm going to run through right quick what we need, but I'm going to say what I'm using today, so that you'll know if you just want to make it for 2 or for yourself. That's what I'm doing. I'm making it for myself, and then I'll have a few meals. And I can freeze it, and then I can take it out as I want to eat it. So that's what I'm going to do today. So it says that we need to position the racks, upper and lower thirds of the oven, and preheat to 375. Butter half of the sheet pan crosswise with a tablespoon of softened butter. Okay, so I've already done the tray, and you know I use the butter flavored spray. So the next thing we need to do, we need a stick plus 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter. So I have a half a stick in my pan that I'm letting melt, and then I have a 1.5 over here that I'm going to need for something else. Don't know what yet. We need 1 stalk of celery chopped. We need a half of a medium onion, 3/4 of a cup of chicken broth. Let's see, 1 teaspoon of fresh sage, 1 teaspoon of fresh thyme, kosher salt, freshly ground black pepper, 1 large egg, 4 cups of stale bread cubed. I'm using, it says brioche is preferred, but I'm using sourdough. I prefer sourdough. And 1 6 to 7 pound whole turkey breast. Breast halves, and then with the bone removed. So I have the other half in the freezer, and I've already taken the bone out. So this is half of that turkey breast. Then, next page, we also need 3/4 of a pound of Brussels sprouts, trimmed in half. Hear me out. If you don't care for Brussels sprouts, don't say you don't care for Brussels sprouts till you try them this way, because they were amazing. I was like, okay, I've got to do this again, and not just like this, because they were really good. We need 1 strip of thick cut bacon chopped. I just do, so I like bacon. A half a cup of granulated sugar. That actually be 1/4 of a cup of granulated sugar. So I'll have to remember to do that as a 1/4. So I actually did a half. Should have done only 1/4. Well, I'm doing the whole cranberry recipe because I like cranberries. So I'm doing the whole cranberry recipe, not just half. Sorry. Let's see. 1 tablespoon a half a teaspoon of orange zest, so I'm doing the whole recipe. 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, because I'm doing the whole recipe. And then we're going to need a third of a cup of mini marshmallows. Now I'm doing all 4 halves of potatoes. I did 2 potatoes and I cut them in half. So I'm going to go ahead and do the whole recipe on the sweet potatoes. And then we'll need 4 dinner rolls and gravy for serving. Okay? So let's see what we got to do first. So the first step is to melt the butter in a large nonstick skillet over medium heat, and then add the celery. And I'm going to do it sting. A wooden sting. I don't want to scratch. I don't want to scratch my and I already had that heating up on a lower temperature. So it says to add the celery and the onion. And we're supposed to cook that until it's softened. And usually what that means is that it becomes like transparent, like clear, and the celery will go from green to like a pale green. So after we do that, so this recipe also calls for chestnuts, a cup of crumbled cooked chestnuts, but I don't like chestnuts, so I left them out. You can put them in if you like them, but I don't care for them, so I didn't get them. So. Okay, so after, this says, about 5 minutes. Mine are already soft because I reconstituted them from, yeah, that's the word. I reconstituted them from dehydrated. So it's not going to take a full 5 minutes for mine to become softened. So then, now it says to add the chicken broth. You got to be careful because we've been using an oil. Okay. Be careful when you're adding a liquid to oil, because it could pop or boil over, and you don't want to do that. And then we add the chestnuts, which I'm not using, the sage, the thyme, 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt, and a few grains of pepper, and bring to a simmer. Smells good already. And I'm sure you know that this is going to be for the dressing, right? Now it calls for kosher salt, but I have mine in the closet in there, but I use the salt grinder with the Himalayan pink salt and the multicolored black peppers. So that's what I use on mine. Okay, well, let's see what we got to do next. Okay, so I see some steam coming off of that now. So that, in my opinion, is a simmer. So it says to put it to the side. Turn off the stove. Alright, so now we're supposed to whisk the egg in a large bowl. I'm using the large batter bowl for my breadcrumbs. Okay, so I'm going to whisk the egg in this one right here. Bring it over here so I don't throw it on the counter. I got my whisk here. Then it says to add the breadcrumbs and the vegetable mixture and stir to combine. I'm just going to pour that over my breadcrumbs. And add the vegetable mixture. Stir to combine. Oops. I got breadcrumbs jumping out everywhere. All right. We'll put that to the side. Clean up my milk. All right. So now we're going to generously sprinkle the turkey breast on both sides with salt and pepper, and then put it skin side up on the pan. So I get these from the Dollar Tree too. They are oven, it's stoneware. It's oven and microwave, freezer to the table kind of soup cup. That's what I use it for, and I'm going to use this for our cranberries today. Okie dokie. I might need some foil again. Alright, so we need some salt and pepper, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this over here. So I'm not going to need that. Liquid smoke anymore after this. Wipe this down here. Got my hands messy. Bring this over here, and I'm going to put it skin side up on one half of my pan. Okay. So I'm handling poultry, so I need to wash my hands. Dry them like that. Now I'm going to sandpaper. Okay. So I keep disinfectant wipes on my counter in case I get poultry or any kind of meat juice on my counter, because I don't want to transfer that to my other food and have cross-food contamination. Alright, now, let's see. Let's rub the skin with 2 tablespoons of butter. So, let me go wash my hands first. So that would be 1. A little bit in there, just in case I need it for something else in this recipe, because that is only I would still need the butter would only be half, so it says plus 3 tablespoons. So that would be a tablespoon and a half. So I must need that half a tablespoon for something else. Alright. And you can use a pastry brush to do this, but I don't. I'm just using my fingers. I'm going to wash my hands. Got a little gone there. Take that grease right off. Because I use soap this time, I won't need the sanitizer. Alright, so I'm going to set this over here and do the next step. So the next step is, let's combine the Brussels sprouts, the bacon, the olive oil, and 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt, and a few grounds of pepper. So there's our bacon. And our olive oil. Three-quarters of a teaspoon of salt. And a few grounds of pepper. Now we turn the page. So I hope you're enjoying this, and if you are, please subscribe, hit the like button, comment, share. Alright, so now it says to toss the coat and spread out evenly over the second half of the pan. The good thing about this stuff, you know, a lot of times cooking isn't rocket science. Cooking is love. Okay? I think that if you will cook your food with love, that it will always turn out well. Alright, so I'll put them bad boys over here. Spread my bacon out a little more. Now, granted, there are some things that you have to absolutely follow the directions in the recipe exactly, like angel food cake, for instance, you know, and divinity, you know, fondue, stuff like that is not forgiving. And I remember one of my friend's mother made divinity all the time, and she taught us that you don't make divinity on a day with high humidity, because it never will come together like it's supposed to. So those no-bake cookies with the chocolate and the peanut butter and the oatmeal, same thing. If there's a lot of humidity, they just will never set up. That's something my son Joshua and I learned together. We were like, okay, why are these cookies running? Then we realized it was raining. So, okay. Alrighty. So now it says to prick the sweet potatoes all over with a fork and arrange them on the other half of the sheet. Remember, I'm only doing half this recipe. So normally it would be, half of this would be Brussels sprouts and the other half would be the sweet potatoes. So I'm gonna, I've already washed them. Make sure you don't stick yourself to the fork. Yeah, that would be painful. I cut them in half as best I could, but I have little hands, so it's kind of hard for me to handle large items. With too much degree of certainty. But I'll try. Go. This side first. So, got a little root there. And you know, I was thinking about this. I'll bet you, if you like acorn squash, that you could do this with acorn squash and just cut them in half. Put them on here. I bet they'd cook up just fine because they're about as hard as sweet potatoes. So that's an alternative, maybe, if you don't like sweet potatoes. I do. I love sweet potatoes. Alright. So we got that next step. So, cook the potatoes with a fork, arrange them on the other half of the sheet. Next to the Brussels sprouts, combine the cranberries, the sugar, and the orange zest in an oven-proof ceramic container. Now remember, I'm doing, so we're doing the sugar, the orange zest, and this is a Pampered Chef product too. It's a measuring colander. Pretty cool, huh? Holds up to 3 cups. There's my 2 cups of cranberries there, and I rinsed them off. Got orange zest too. Yep, that's just totally full. I think the last time what I did is I just like poured the sugar on top of the cranberry. But I'm going to do what it says this time. But yeah, it worked just fine last time I did it that way. Looks like snowberries. Okay, where are you going? We're over here. Alright, so let's pour that in our little oven-safe ceramic dish. Smells good. I can smell that orange in there. And it's okay that it's going to come up over the top because these cranberries will cook down. They sure will. And I don't know about you, but I love whole berry cranberry sauce. I really do. Alright, so I turned it up another dish. Oops. I got cranberries hiding everywhere. Alright, we're going to use some foil. And I knew I should have got this out, and I am so sorry I did not. should have. My bag holder. You know what? I will save that for another time. Like maybe a baked potato or something on my next flavor of soup. And we are covered with foil. Alright. So our next step is put the sheet pan with the turkey and the stuffing. I guess we're supposed to put the stuffing there. Did I miss the stuff? It said it's inside. So we're going to put our stuffing over here. Smells good. Turn it around so I can make it look pretty. Move my turkey over a little bit. That way. Make the stuffing look nice and pretty. Alright, so now we're doing this on one pan. So this is where one pan will go on the top shelf, one pan goes on the bottom shelf. So I'm using the middle shelf in the oven. Okay? So it says put the sheet pan in the oven and put the one on the top, one on the bottom, and then we're going to cook it for 30 minutes. And then we're going to remove the pans from the oven. We're going to stir the Brussels sprouts and the cranberry sauce. And we're going to mash the cranberries a little bit with the side of the spoon. And we're going to tint the stuffing with foil if it's starting to brown too quickly. And then we're going to rotate the pan. But we're going to put it back on the same shelf. So if you were doing two, you would put it back on the same shelf. Alrighty. So we're going into the oven now. And it's going to be heavy. So just be careful. Alright. We're going to put that into the oven and for 30 minutes. So I'm going to set a timer for 30 minutes. I'm going to go walk my little doggy and I'll be back shortly. Hey everybody, welcome back. So the 30-minute timer is up, so it's time to take it out and do a couple of things. So I'm going to turn this noise down. And I'm going to take the pan out of the oven. Ooh. Pretty. Smells good too. Can you see that? Nice, huh? I love these dinners. They are so yummy. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to stir the Brussels sprouts and the cranberry sauce once or twice and mash the cranberries with the side of the spoon. Then we'll tint the stuffing if it's starting to brown, and it is. There's that extra foil I needed. And then we're going to rotate the pan. If you're doing both, you would rotate them to the same rack. Okay? I'm also going to need to know when the turkey breast gets to 160. I don't have my instant read thermometer from Pampered Chef yet. I have it ordered, I just don't have it yet. I'm trying to think about doing that before I start videos. But I do have a meat thermometer that I have for stuff I've already done, because I cook a lot. So it needs to be in the thickest part of the breast. I'm going to rotate the pan, so I'm going to turn it so I can see it from the other side. Okay. Alright. Stir the Brussels sprouts. It's starting to smell good. Got bacon in there. this turned out so well the last time. I was really proud to take this and share this with my co-workers. You know, those security guards out there working in the field on the holidays. Just like, you know, our servers and bartenders, our EMTs, our firemen, our police officers. Hey, if you know somebody out there that's working on a holiday and you know they're not going to have anything to eat, if you're able to take them some food, hey, make extras. If you're single and you live by yourself or whatever, yeah, make extra and take some food to somebody you know is going to be by themselves. Maybe you have a neighbor. Maybe you have a neighbor that lives alone and doesn't have any family. Take them some food. You can hear them popping down there in the bottom. They're starting to soften up. Nice. These were so good the last time. I was like, okay, so I'm not making a half a recipe of this because it was really good. I love cranberry sauce, so I made the whole recipe for this video instead of cutting it in half. But you know, I just like cranberry sauce. And I've always liked it. That was the dessert to me. I like that more than the pumpkin pie. Don't be mad. Please don't be mad. In my house growing up, that was the time when the whole family got together. They came from all around Florida. We were all spread out over Florida. A good many of us were in Miami, and some of us were in St. Petersburg. That's where we were at the time. Some were in Tampa. So everybody would meet at great grandma's house, which is the 74-year-old grandma that grew up in the Depression I was telling you about. That's why I'm a hoarder. Sorry. I mean, as far as she was concerned, you don't throw anything away. There's a use for everything. So I reuse a lot of stuff because of my grandmother. But anyway, everybody would bring something, and my cousin Nathan, he was a chef. I think he was going to school to be a chef. So he would always bring the desserts. And Grandma's favorite, we got to turn the canvas on. I turned the thermometer so I could see it. So he would always bring the pies, and her favorite was mincemeat pie. To this day, I've never tasted it because I was born a vegan into a family of farmers, you know, and they all grew up on a farm, and they did not understand me at all. So, oh, I forgot to tint mine. Standing over here talking, I forgot to tint mine. So, right. Got a little piece there I can throw right there. All right. So anyway, so I spent a lot of time at the dinner table as a child because I would not eat meat products. If it came from an animal, I don't want anything to do with it. I didn't eat meat until I was in my 20s. I know, it's crazy. Blame it on bacon. But it took me a long time to get past that. But I told you, I wanted to be a veterinarian, so it's something I always wanted to do. My mom brought me home a wild dog, and I had it tamed in a day. So the next thing we need to do is, so we turned it to the oven on the same shelf, and then we're going to continue cooking until the turkey skin is golden brown and crisp, and an instant read thermometer inserted into the thickest part of the breast reads 160 degrees Fahrenheit. About 20 to 30 more minutes. So I'm going to go 30 more. Okay? So then after that, what we'll do, so at that point it says that the potatoes should be tender, the stuffing browned in some areas, the Brussels sprouts browned and tender, and the cranberries softened and bubbly. And it says if the sweet potatoes are undercooked, you can take them off the pan and put them back in the oven directly on the rack and continue cooking until tender up to 10 more minutes. And then we're going to transfer the turkey breast to a cutting board. I won this at a Pampered Chef Party of my friend. Cool, huh? Nice. So, and it's even got full measurements on it. Cool, huh? So then we'll do this. We'll put the turkey breast here to rest for 10 minutes before slicing. And I have an electric knife that I use for carving larger pieces of meat, and I'll use it here just so they look nice and pretty and uniform. And I actually found that at Goodwill for like $1.99. So I found another one for $1.99. And I have a bread rack when I make loaves of bread in my bread maker or in the oven, artisan loaves in the oven. I'll put it on that guide, and I'll slice it with the electric knife and have nice, even, uniform pieces. And I'm just weird about my food that I give to people or share with other people. I want it to look nice. I want it to look professionally made. So that's just how I am. I mean, if you're going to try a recipe, why not try to do it right? So if you don't have a guide, what you could do is you could print up a guide like on a piece of paper and just use that guide to cut your breads so they look nice and pretty. I do it with everything. When I gift banana bread or zucchini bread, I put it on that guide and I slice it with my electric knife so it's nice and clean and neat. But you got to wait until the bread is cooled completely or it'll tear the bread up. Alright, so let's see. What do we need to do? So now basically we just wait. So after we take the turkey out, we'll do the figure out what the other was for. And sweet potatoes. So we'll mix this together. We'll fluff the sweet potatoes. We'll put that on the sweet potatoes, the marshmallows. We'll put the sweet potatoes back in the oven. I did the dishes, see? And then we'll go from there. After that, we'll just carve the turkey breast and we'll return them to the cooking sheet. And you can just serve everything off of the cooking sheet. Save your serving dishes. You don't have to do that. I mean, you could just like garnish it and dress it up from there and just put a spoon for everything and just let everybody serve themselves from right there. That is just a great way to save on dishes, and then you guys have more time to sit and talk after you eat. Get to go to dessert a lot faster because you're not doing all those dishes. So anyway, we got about 26 more minutes, so we'll come back in just a few more minutes. Okay, welcome back everybody. So the timer is going off, so we're going to turn that off. And we're going to take this out of the oven and go on to the next step. Ooh, this looks good. Can you see it? Wow. Put this on the stove over here. So I'm going to get a fork and check the potatoes right quick. See how they're coming along. They still need a couple minutes maybe. Yeah, our cranberry sauce is in. Our turkey as well within the doneness range. My spoon just has sugar on it. Got our cranberry sauce too. That's nice. Move it up a little bit. Let's see what our next step is. Alright, so it says if the sweet potatoes are undercooked, take them off the pan and put them back in the oven directly on the rack to continue cooking until tender up to 10 more minutes. Alright, let's see what it's cooking. put a pan under those so they don't rip on the bottom of my oven. Alright, so let's see, what else do we got to do? So the timer, that might be helpful. Alright, so let's see. At this point, the potatoes should be tender, but they're not. Stuffing should be brown. It is. Looks wonderful. That comes up. Okay. Cranberries should be soft and bubbling. They are. Okay, so now we're going to transfer the turkey breast to a cutting board. And I'm to let it rest. And I'm going to do that with the tongs because I don't want to puncture our delicious turkey. Yeah, figured that out. And my thermometer reads 170. We're good there. Okay, so we're going to let it rest while the potatoes are finished baking. Remove the foil from the cranberry sauce and we're going to set it aside so that it can cool. There we go. Can you see how pretty that is? Set it right there. Really my spoon in it. Okay, so with a fork, combine the remaining 2 tablespoons of butter, which would be 1 tablespoon in my case, because I just did a half of this recipe, with the brown sugar in a small bowl. I'm just going to use one of these. Fork right here. We're actually making a brown sugar butter to go on our sweet potatoes. Last time I had this, it was so good. I was like, I have got to do this again. So here we are, doing this recipe again. But this time we're only doing half. Because yeah, things are crazy right now, so we have to make adjustments and make the best of the bad situation. And you know, that's one of the things I love about the internet. Here we are, cooking together. We can go anywhere we want to, online, thanks to the World Wide Web, and I just love it. I felt like that because I need to fluff my potatoes when they're finished. Drip in my turkey. There. Alrighty. So, it says to split the potatoes, fluff with a fork, and stir in the butter and the brown sugar mixture. Sprinkle with salt, top with marshmallows, and return to the pan with the Brussels sprouts. Put the dinner rolls on the same pan and return to the oven to warm the marshmallows and the rolls 3 to 5 minutes. Then we'll carve the turkey breast and we'll return that to the baking pan and with the stuffing, get ready to serve it. So, remember we have this gravy here, okay, and it says it must fully cook before serving. It says cook 4 cooked turkey juices in the measuring cup, Be careful of the hot juices. You'll need a half a cup of liquid per gravy packet used. If not enough turkey juices, add water. So I don't have any turkey juice because I cooked it on this pan right here. So I'm going to add water instead. So I need 1.5 cups of liquid per packet. Okay? And it says to heat the liquid in the contents of the packet in a pan, bring to a boil, stirring constantly. After boiling, cook over medium heat 3 to 5 minutes. Stirring is needed. Alrighty, so let's do that. I'll pull my cranberry sauce. Use this over a little bit. Well, this Brussels sprouts smell good. My AMC Wattles cookware I've had for my oldest son, who turned 38 this year, was a baby. And I bought it the same year he was born. And I absolutely love this Wattles cookware. These are spoons that we had before. Need 1.5 cups of water, right? Plastic one right here. And I don't see very well, like I told you guys, so I put markings on the side of it so I can see where each one, a cup, a half a cup, and this is 2 cups. Turn it over and put it in dry. Some scissors. It's supposed to bring it to a boil, so I'm going to put it on about 7. Put that little corner rock. Put that right in there. And roll it down. Make sure you get all that yummy goodness. Take it over here and toss it in the trash. You didn't even have to do any work for the gravy. That was always nice. It's kind of hard to find fresh turkey breast, fresh boneless turkey breast. I asked the gentleman yesterday in the meat department if they had any, and he said they wouldn't be out until about the 18th of November, 18th, 19th of November, for the sales that begin on Thursday, I guess. And I just felt like that was too late to begin a video for you guys, because I know y'all have to plan too. So I just went ahead and just went with the frozen and got it thawed out, got it soaked or marinated in the liquid smoke, because I like smoked turkey breast. And then I did that overnight. So when I put it in, probably about 6 or 7 o'clock last night, I don't go to bed until really late, like 12, 12:30 at night. So before I went to bed, I turned it over. And then when I got up this morning, I turned it over again. And then a few hours before I started, I turned it over again. That way it would have equal time marinating. This is coming together nice. And about 30 seconds on our potatoes. these are no spill pans too. When you pour something out of them, they don't drip. Because the way the look of the pan is designed, they don't drip. I'm going to take these potatoes out of the oven with a spatula, so I don't have to touch them. I keep forgetting that I'm wearing glasses. Okay. So what to do? You need to touch them with your hand. It's hot. Sure enough, they were dripping on my oven. I'm glad I put that pan in there. Otherwise, I'd be smelling burnt sweet potatoes for the next 3 weeks. Yeah, I did that one. I can't tell. Alright. This is not ready for it. You know, at first it didn't look like it was going to come together. It just looked like a brown, sparkly glitter going on here. And now that it's heating up, it's coming together really nice. The thing I like about this cookware too that I have, and I think you can still do it, I think this all does it, is that you only have to cook on medium and low, and they actually have like a bowl that sits on the pan, on a smaller pan, a bigger pan than this, and I can put that bowl upside down on a bigger pot, and then I can set this pot on top of that pot, that bowl on the flat side of it, and I can cook 2 things on one burner. I know. I can cook rice and peas and an egg in the same pot, and the rice won't taste like the peas, and the peas won't taste like the rice, and the egg will be hard boiled. Yep, sure will be. That's what I love about waterless cookware. It's cooked without water, and it's healthy, and it's like, let's say you use frozen peas or frozen green beans. Okay, so it's come to a boil, so I'm going to turn it down now. 3 to 5 minutes. So anyway, you put the peas or the green beans or whatever it is in the pot to cook. No water. No water. Put the top on the pan. Start it on medium. It comes up to a certain temperature. There's a little temperature gauge on the top in the handle. And when it reaches a certain mark, you turn it down to low and let it cook. And if you can smell the food cooking, you've got the fire too hot. So you need to turn it down some. You might be cooking it more high than medium. And then when it's finished, and it cooks it in about half the time, when it's finished, let's say frozen peas, they're just as green as they were when you put them in the pot. I know. It sounds crazy, but that's because we didn't cook them with water. I'll do a demo on that sometime if you want me to. That was a lot of fun. Cook chicken and gravy all in the same pan, no oil. Potatoes, and you make gravy in the pan that you made your fried chicken. It's been about a minute now, sorry. I'm actually going to go over here and start working on these potatoes. fork in there and turn. Put the fork in there and turn. Actually, to like peel that part off. That's where I accidentally cut through it wrong. Fluff, 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 fluff. And the fork. These smell good. Just fork in there and turn, and there's another one I accidentally cut through too much. And twist, and twist, and twist, and twist. There you count all on matches. 3 minutes now. So for 3 to 5 minutes. That was that here. That was it. Fluff and fluff and fluff and fluff. Fluff and fluff. Fluff and fluff. Yeah, that extra 10 minutes really it brought them to the right doneness. Yeah, so I like that. Alright. So now, we're going to evenly divide the brown sugar butter over the potatoes. And I'm just doing maybe that much. I don't know what. Over each potato. I put a little more on the bigger potatoes. And in the sink to be washed. And we're going to mix our brown sugar butter up into our potato. See how easy this is? Now you know why I love this recipe. I mean, it's just so simple. So simple. And it tastes so good. I mean, it tastes like you spent hours and hours and hours and hours and hours on it. And truth be told, you only spent like 2.5 hours on it, maximum. That's start to finish. Nobody will ever believe that you weren't in the kitchen all day long making this delicious, yummy Thanksgiving dinner for them. Okay. So we've got all the butter mixed in to the potatoes. Don't know if you can see it or not. Then we want our marshmallows, and I'll actually take a picture right quick so I can add that to the video. I like lots of marshmallows, even though it's broke. What can I say? I just like sweet stuff. And no, I'm not fat because I like sweet stuff. I'm actually fat because my thyroid tried to kill me a few years ago. And the medication, yeah. I used to weigh 100 pounds, 110 pounds, and then I got sick. And the medication made me do. So if you have thyroid issues too, you're not alone. So give me just 1 second. I'm going to grab the camera. Take a quick picture. So you can see it a little better. Like that. Get a gravy going. I don't know why, but steaming pots are really hard to photograph. I have no idea why. Ooh, you're gonna turkey breast. good. And our cranberry sauce. Yummy. And then I'll take a picture when I've finished, completely finished. Now we need some dinner rolls. It says 4, and I'm actually making this for 2, which will be 4 servings for me. So I'm going to make 4 dinner rolls so that I can put it with my food that I'm going to portion up so I have dinner for 4 nights. And I'm actually going to put it in the freezer, and that way I'll have Thanksgiving and leftovers. Alright. So I'm just going to put these where the turkey was. Just like that, and it says to return it to the oven for 3 to 5 minutes. Take another picture right quick. I don't have a very good phone, so my pictures. Alright. And we're going back in the oven. I'll take the oven out. See how the sweet potatoes drip? Put it over there because it's hot. And I'm going to do 3 minutes. And then check my marshmallows at the 3-minute mark. Take on the gravy. It's starting to cook now. Nice. Now these pots, because of the kind of bottom that they have on them, I don't know if you can see it, but it's got like a thick bottom on it. And it actually, the way it's designed, is it holds heat, and that's why you only have to cook on medium and low. So I just turn the heat off because that'll keep warming up, and we will cut the chicken breasts. Don't need that anymore. So I'm gonna plug this bad boy in. So yeah, so you know, go to your local thrift store, whatever you've got close to you. We've got Goodwill. And support your local thrift store and purchase items from them to help support them. Before I think it's under that hot pan. I'll grab another one right quick. And we're going to cut this turkey breast so it's ready to serve, all nice and pretty. Ready? It makes a lot of noise. Thinking about this while I was cutting it. I'm right-handed, which is why I started this thing. So if you're left-handed, you would go this way. So I'm right-handed, so I go that way. This has got a safety mechanism on it. You have to press that button for it to turn on. So noisy again. Remember, I used it for poultry, so I will have to make sure that's washed really, really well. Put this over out of the way. Ah, look at that, perfect time. That's 3 minutes on our potatoes, right? So let's turn this noisy thing off. They're still a little white, so we'll give it that 2 more minutes to go. Stir our gravy again. that smells nice. I can throw that right out of that dish. And another thing I like about that waterless cookware is that I can just put the top on it, put it right in the freezer, put it in the refrigerator, whichever one I want to do. Those for marshmallows, it's not really dirty. And how much dirt can marshmallows fit on something like that? So let's see. So now I've carved the turkey breast, and all I have to do now is just put it back on the sheet with the stuffing and get ready to serve it. What I'll do is once it's finished and I've got everything reassembled, I will take a picture. I'll put it on a plate and take a picture of it and show you what it looks like when we get ready to serve it up. So give me just a couple minutes and I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. Dinner is ready to be served. Make sure you turn off the oven because you don't want to waste your electricity. So I put a spoon and a fork by everything so that they could come over, they could bring their plate and they could come over and serve themselves. If you don't want to use regular plates, what I do for holidays is I buy those pretty little holiday themed paper plates, the heavy duty ones. Because I don't know about you, but I'd like to try to get everything.
I have a reminder for Selina's.
Sorry. She loves me. So anyway, I try to get everything on the Thanksgiving table on my plate. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Show you what it would look like once it's served. So I'm going to get a potato. Put that over here. And I'm going to get some dressing or stuffing, whatever you want to call it. It's sure food. You call it whatever you want to call it. Put a little of that over here. Keeping in mind that other people still need to eat. And then I'm going to get some Brussels sprouts and some of the bacon. Everybody likes bacon. And you know, you can even get vegan bacon nowadays, or imitation bacon, whatever you like. That back over there. And then I'm going to use my fork and I'm going to get a couple of pieces of turkey. Doesn't that turn out nice? Over here. And I'm going to get a dinner roll. And I'm going to put some cranberry sauce right in the center. Just to make the plate look pretty. I'll post the recipe that I used today from foodnetwork.com. And remember, it's the sheet pan Thanksgiving dinner for two. I'm going to put a little gravy over here. They call it the 2 sheet pan Thanksgiving dinner, but I just did half of it. Someone else did a recipe like that, Thanksgiving sheet pan for 2, but I actually like this recipe better. So that's what my little plate looks like, and I'll take a picture to post for you to see. If you like what you saw today and you enjoyed this recipe, please subscribe, hit the like button, share, comment. Let me know if you want to see me do any other videos. I'm open to a challenge. I really am open to a challenge. Thank you for stopping by. Enjoy your Thanksgiving.